You entered a room and completely forgot why you went there. Or maybe you tried to remember the name of someone you have known for years, and the word simply didn't come. These moments are scary, especially after 60, when the mind goes immediately to the same question: is this the beginning of Alzheimer's? The truth is that this doubt keeps millions of people awake at night all over the world. And the problem is that most people don't know, in fact, what the difference is between normal forgetfulness that accompanies aging and the first signs of a disease like Alzheimer's. This video exists to resolve this doubt once and for all. I am going to show you in a clear and science-based way which forgetfulness is completely normal, which signs deserve attention, and what you can do today to protect your memory. My name is Dr. Elena, and on this channel I bring every week practical and science-based information about cognitive health for those over 60 years old. If you are new here, welcome. This video may be one of the most important ones you will watch on the subject. So stay until the end, because I'm going to show something that most people don't know. Before anything else, I need to tell you something important. Forgetting things does not mean you're developing Alzheimer's. In fact, the vast majority of the forgetfulness people experience after age 60 is absolutely normal and has very simple biological explanations. The human brain processes an enormous amount of information throughout each day. As we age, this processing becomes a bit slower, just like a computer that has many files stored and needs more time to find what it needs. This is not a disease. It is just the natural functioning of a brain that has accumulated decades of experiences and memories. What happens is that we live in a culture that associates any forgetfulness with Alzheimer's, and this incorrect association generates unnecessary anxiety in millions of people. And ironically, this anxiety itself can temporarily worsen memory, because stress directly affects the regions of the brain responsible for remembering. So take a deep breath. Let's understand this together, calmly and with real data. I'm going to give you a list of situations that cause concern in many people, but that neurology specialists consider part of healthy aging. First, forgetting where you put an object, like keys or glasses. This happens because the brain, in moments of autopilot, does not register routine actions with the same level of attention as it registers new or emotionally significant events. It is not memory loss. It is a lack of mindfulness at the moment of the action. Second, taking a long time to find a word or a name. This phenomenon even has a scientific name. It's called anomia, and it is extremely common after age 50. The word is there in your memory, but access to it becomes slower, and almost always the word appears hours later by itself when you have stopped forcing it. Third, entering a room and forgetting why you went there. This is probably the most famous and most reported type of forgetfulness. It happens because the brain uses contextual gates to organize memories. When you move from one environment to another, the brain may temporarily file away the previous thought. It is called the doorway effect. Completely normal. Fourth, not remembering details of a conversation or a movie you watched a few days ago. The memory tends to keep what is important and discard what seems irrelevant. This is brain efficiency, not decline. The common denominator of all these cases is that Even if you forget at the moment, you can remember later, whether with a hint, a context, or with the passage of time. And this is the key to distinguishing the normal from the concerning. Now I'm going to talk about the signs that are different and that deserve a conversation with a doctor. Not to scare you, but because early diagnosis makes a huge difference in quality of life. Sign 1. Forgetting how to do something familiar. I'm not referring to forgetting where the keys are. I'm referring to forgetting how to cook a recipe you've made for 30 years, how to turn on an appliance you use every day, or how to get to a place you frequented for years. When forgetfulness affects consolidated and automatic skills, that is different. Sign 2. Losing the thread of the conversation frequently. Forgetting a detail of a conversation is normal, but losing the context of your own speech in the middle of a sentence, repeating the same story several times in the same conversation without noticing, or having difficulty following the reasoning of others, these are patterns that deserve attention. Sign 3. Disorientation in familiar places. Getting temporarily confused in a new place is normal, but getting disoriented in places you know well, like your own neighborhood or the house of a close relative, is a different sign. Sign 4. Unexplained mood and personality changes. This is one of the lesser-known signs, but very relevant. Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia often manifest first in behavioral changes, unusual irritability, increased suspicion, social isolation, apathy, before manifesting in evident memory loss. Sign 5. Difficulty with money, dates, and basic organization. When a person starts having difficulty keeping track of bills, remembering scheduled appointments, or planning simple everyday activities consistently, this may indicate that areas of the brain linked to planning and reasoning are being affected. People with early-stage Alzheimer's often do not notice their own memory problems. Those who notice are family members. On the other hand, the person with normal aging is usually the first to comment on their own forgetfulness, and that, paradoxically, is a good sign. Regardless of where you fit into this comparison, there are concrete things you can do starting today to protect and strengthen your brain health. Neuroscience is very clear about this. Action 1. Sleep between 7 and 8 hours. Sleep is the moment when the brain literally clears out the toxins accumulated during the day, including the beta-amyloid protein, which is associated with Alzheimer's. One bad night's sleep doesn't cause Alzheimer's, but years of chronic sleep deprivation significantly increase the risk. If you have difficulty sleeping, this topic deserves special attention, and I will dedicate a full video to it soon. Action 2. Stay socially active. Social isolation is one of the greatest risk factors for cognitive decline that exist, often underestimated relative to other factors like diet and exercise. Conversations, meetings with friends and family, participation in groups or communities, all of this stimulates the brain intensely and continuously. Action 3. Move your body regularly. Physical exercise increases blood flow to the brain and stimulates the production of that protein I mentioned in the previous video, BDNF, which works like fertilizer for brain cells. It doesn't have to be a gym. Regular walks already make a proven difference. Action 4. If you have any doubt, consult a doctor. If you identified any of the warning signs I mentioned, whether in yourself or in a family member, schedule an appointment with a geriatrician or neurologist. Not to confirm a diagnosis, but to rule out treatable causes. Many common medical conditions, like hypothyroidism, vitamin B12 deficiency, depression, and poorly controlled high blood pressure, can cause symptoms that look like cognitive decline, but are completely reversible with treatment. So let's recapitulate what you learned today. Forgetting where you put the keys, taking a long time to remember a name, or entering a room and forgetting why you went there. These are normal situations of aging. They happen because the brain processes more slowly, but the information is still there. The signs that deserve attention are different. Forgetting how to do familiar things, losing the thread of the conversation frequently, getting disoriented in familiar places, persistent mood changes, and difficulty with basic daily organization. And the most important difference of all, those who have normal forgetfulness notice and comment. Those who are developing a dementia often do not notice. Now, one thing I want you to take from this video. Your brain has an extraordinary capacity to renew and protect itself, but it needs care. Sleep, movement, social connection, and proper nutrition are the most powerful tools that exist to keep memory healthy for much longer. If this video helped you, or if you know someone who has this doubt, share it with that person. This may be exactly the content they need to see. And subscribe here to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Every week I bring a different theme about cognitive health, memory, and well-being for those over 60 years old, always with practical and reliable information. Before closing, I want to ask you a question in the comments. After watching this video, do you feel that your forgetfulness is normal, or is there a sign that is going to make you schedule an appointment? Whatever your answer, you are on the right path. Taking care of the mind is an act of self-love. Until the next video.